Hey friends, so today we are going to be breaking down the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen as it says in the title. And we're really going to be trying to pull apart this text and figure out not only its context, but its the criticality of it. And so in order to do that, I'm using this 5W model. And you can see it on the board. It says who, what, when, where, and why. And right now I'm actually just highlighting the who of this document in its own color. And so I've deciphered that from the title, and I think it's best to break it down by section, that it's probably talking about the citizens of the of France, and then the French National Constituent Assembly may be representatives of that citizenry. I will note that I don't necessarily think that we have to break this down in order, but this is just so how it happens here. But yeah, right now you can see me moving on and identifying the August 1789 as the date, or as you would say in application to this model, the when. And I really want to make it clear that these hopefully are things that you have in your repertoire already. You're already familiar with this topic, so you're already familiar with the National Assembly and the time in which the French Declaration, the French Revolution took place. If you're not, this is easily something that you can look up. And then I'm moving on to the where, and this in the context of this document specifically, where it's not as important, but it is important when looking at the greater global history and recognizing the impact and the influence that the French Revolution had on other revolutions, like in the United States and in the Pacific and in South America and stuff like that. So now I'm moving on to the the introduction paragraph, my apologies, where it's really talking about the what of the document. What is the goal? What are they doing? And from here we can tell that the citizens are demanding autonomy in their own government. They want to be the benefactors of their government and the decider of those benefactors, and their values. And this what can be really well supplemented by the why. Sorry, these are some old notes that I have that I was using earlier, but I think the why is really well found in documents like these within the articles, and it's really important to break them down step by step, and you'll see me do that here. I'm not going to do each one for the sake of time, but these first two, it's very easy for me to find out some central principles of this document. The fact that men are born in free and equal rights, and these rights are not necessarily limited to, but detailed as liberty, property, stuff like that. And breaking down this document and its whys in the form of articles really ties together the context and the criticality of it as a whole. From the who, what, when, and where, we really see that context, and it helps us place, I should say, what we're studying. We know that it has something to do with the French Revolution. We know what it is that we should be looking for, and then the why takes us to that critical aspects. It shows us why it's important and what it is they were fighting for, not just showing us that it is the French Revolution. And I think that documents like these are so important to break down this carefully because they're really nuanced, and it's those nuances that we see repeat throughout history. That being said, I really do think it is important to look at this document and think who's left out. When you break down those articles, do you see them mention women? Do you see them mention people of color? What does that say about the authors, and what does that say about the time?